Okay, members and friends. So I think we're going to, I got Sunday, right? And I've started my day. So, I had my first cup of tea and 5 smokes. So here we go. So this is like, bottom bin is full of Lego. Second bin is fabric for like quilting. That one there is Andre's cups and bowls and, you've seen those before. That one's just miscellaneous stuff I'm still sorting out. This one down there is obviously Andre's Dupo. This one is a set with tapes and work paper, like sheets, for foodborne illnesses. I thought that would be good to sit down one day with the teens and, kind of educational. And that one there is crafts. And then, of course, I moved out the sewing machine from Andre's room. So here it is again. My wife is not coming back, so we don't have to worry about a wheelchair going through at this point. And I've started my laundry. You can hear it. Now these bins here, storage. And then this one there is the food containers. You have to remember my square footage is 25 feet by 40 feet. Like, honest to God, I do not have but this is my porch. This is where everything stacks up because I don't have closets. I don't have a porch. I've got a garage that homeless people just go in there, and Chinese people or old Chinese people looking for pop bottles or something, but it's mostly homeless people. They just go in there and poke around. Anyway, I think I'm going to try and work a little bit on this today because I'm boarding up this room where these cats can't get in there. Because once I make it so that no animal can go in there and spray and toss things around, hopefully I'll be able to prevent some of that leaking up there. Hold on a minute. Okay, so back to this. So I gotta make it so the cats can't climb in there. Knock things down, males coming around spraying. And then I'm gonna take some of these bins because I'm gonna build a door on there and try and put a lock on it. Right? And then if I'm successful with that, then I'll put some of those bins in there because they'll be protected from the elements. This is my porch. This is what I'm cleaning up today. I have no porch. I have no storage. I have no shed. I can't depend on my garage to be safe without people poking around in it, right? I have, it just is like 40 feet by 25 feet to live. So anyway, on to the first day, part of the day. Okay, members and friends, honest to God, I have to factor in a cat house in this house. Like, this is not Tom. This is another one that hangs around too, and he scoots around like Boots. Sometimes we confuse him for Boots. Just hold on, that's my hair hanging in there. Sometimes we confuse him for Boots because he's black, right? And he's really skittish. But obviously he's an unneutered male. And it looks like maybe he's been in some scraps in here, right? I gotta get these collection boxes going. Like, I've got 2 stray cats that come to my house and live here. And then there's Snowflake that likes to come here. Mickey's got a new place. I don't know. She only comes around once in a while now. She found someplace else. She doesn't like to be around all these cats. But all these other cats... What's your name? Huh? Are you gonna be friendly with me? Are you gonna let me approach you? What you think? You don't seem too skittish right now. Did you get in, like... He's a very paranoid cat. See? There he goes. But, where is he? I don't know. I think we're going to turn that into a chicken coop. And we're just going to settle for the little greenhouse up on top here. But I do want to build a cat house. I found that at spring cleanup. It just needs to be sprayed down and stuff and wait for the sun to get real hot and let it dry out, and that's going to go inside the cat house because I got a lot of cats. And they're not even my cats. They're just stray cats. So, we'll catch them, take them to the vet and fix them or something. Okay, so here's my dilemma. Obviously it rained and you can see the water is pooling again, right? And that's what makes it, ruins everything. And of course, you don't get out here every day to sweep it out, so it turns into algae and it spreads. And then every year I'm having to do this. I don't know how I'm going to fix this. I'm hoping that when I do this little veranda thing, that will help. But this is all rotten up there and it needs to be changed, and it still leaks. But I'm going to see if maybe there's a couple spots where I can just put some silicone in there. And anyway, I want to show something else here. Hold on a minute. Okay, so this is a real problem. And they had put this plastic when I moved in. And because the porch leaks, you can see it's actually going to start busting through here probably pretty soon. Really, technically, I should move from this house because it's got lots of mold. And I don't know, animals nest in there. I don't know what kind of animals nest in there, but something is nesting in there because you can see the wood, right? I never hear anything moving around. Here's straw. I don't know what kind of nest that is. But I really don't want to get up in there and start tearing this shit apart, right? I mean, like, am I supposed to get in there with a putty knife and scrape that crap off? I guess I'm going to have to, right? So it's throughout the whole thing here. And then, you know, when my landlord's son comes, he tries to, oh, you know, the floor, you got stains on it. You know, well, that's because, you know, you had chairs out there that rusted. That's oxidation. That's not eating through, that's just a discoloration on the vinyl that you have up there that's so old. And, well, you know you had a problem because when you had the problem, you just came along and you just put plastic over it to try and hide it. And then as time goes by, 4 years later, you know, the porch is stooping, right? Because you don't fix the roof on it properly, and this is the result. So I'm thinking just to take a damn tarp and just tarp it in there, right? Because, you know, this is disgusting, but I don't want to get up in there and start ripping this shit down and, you know, power washing it, but it's going to need this one day. And like what they did here, they should never have taped it because it can't breathe. So, I don't know. This is not my fault. This is the landlord's problem. They created this problem for themselves by not fixing the porch properly and by not, you know, by putting this plastic up to hide the fact that it was leaking to begin with. And they're actually making it worse for themselves by letting it sweat. And they're making it worse for me. You know, we don't necessarily feel good in this house because we're dealing all the time with so much crap. But I just wanted to point that out. Okay, members and friends. So far it's 4:30. I was up late last night, so I didn't start until about 1:15. And I've already lifted 320 pounds of water. I did 2 loads of laundry. We calculated it at 5 buckets for draining. Obviously, I drain out 3 times. And then we kind of guesstimated at 32 pounds. I put it between 30 and 35 pounds per bucket, so we just kind of rounded off to 32. So far, by 4:30, I've done 320 pounds worth of weightlifting. And by the end of the night, I want to do at least, well, I'd like to do 2 more, but I'll be lucky if I do 1 from the porch. Hold on a minute. Okay, so because I don't have, like, my cupboards in the house are very small. They're very shallow. They're not deep. They're not tall. You know, they're very small. And as a matter of fact, where my pots and pans are, the cupboards are kind of rotting out. They need to be replaced completely. This here is, you know, a lot of my baking stuff that I've had over the years. I like these things because when I do, you know, TV dinners or whatever it is, they're always handy to have. Hold on a minute. Okay, so this wood here I found from spring cleanup. This is like when people, you know, remove things from their yard or they don't want anymore. This was wood that somebody didn't want, and I put it on the top of the roof of my car and brought it home. And so now I'm going to use it to build. Hold on, go slow. I work on building a door here. Plus, I'm making it so the cats can't get in there, right? So, hold on. Look, Scratchy by his bowl. It's Scratchy. You wait, Scratchy. Get back by your bowl. Where you going? Hey! So since this guy tends to be a little territorial, what he does is he helps to keep the other ones away. He'll scare the other ones away. if they come. One morning, they were having a scrap out here. He was scaring one away. And he sprays though. But I think I'm working on a system for that. Like I said, you kind of narrow it down, treat him like a dog, right? Teach him where he can spray. It's definitely not on my porch. So once this porch is cleared off, I'm going to be coming along with a little bleach bottle, like a bottle with a little bit of bleach water, spray it, and then spray it down with the hose quickly, and hopefully that will deter him from spraying up here, right? Same thing where he was having his washroom. Since I've cleaned it in there, he hasn't used it since, so that's good. Okay, as you can see, I'm piecing together a door, right? And I think I may have found a piece of glass that might just fit. Well, because I gathered up glass at spring cleanup. I've been gathering glass for a couple of years, actually. So we're going to start using some of this glass and washing wood and washing the glass. Hold on. Okay, members and friends, I got my little window up. It actually opens. And this is glass. Slowly but surely. This is not. I have to put something there. But, working on it. This is my little greenhouse. And here's my door. It's amazing what you can do with scrap wood. I'm working on this too. I just have to take this piece. I like to see a social worker do this. I'm not a carpenter. I hope someone. Hold on. So, there's my door. This is what you call a poor woman's greenhouse. Huh? A poor woman's greenhouse. Okay, so it's now like 10 o'clock, right? 8 minutes to 10 p.m. I started at 1:15, and I'm now just sitting down. And I lifted 320 pounds of water today. That's 2 loads of laundry. I wanted to do more, but obviously that porch is taking some time, right? So I'm going to work on it again. If it's not raining, I'm going to work on it again tomorrow, because the sooner I can get it done, the sooner I can move some of this stuff out and put it in there and lock it up. And I can put my nails in there and, you know, miscellaneous, you know, tools. Not all my tools, but some of the miscellaneous tools. And then I've got like, jars of nails and nuts and bolts and different various nails. When you live in a house, you know, if this is what you do, right? Because you're always banging and building and trying to do whatever minor repairs. So I'm going to do this right up until Thursday. Today's Sunday. I'm going to do it every day. And this social worker, you know, she needs to really ask herself if she's capable of doing what I do. And for the reasons that I do it. I moved into this house for my dad's wife. I didn't move in for myself. I didn't move in to have my family move in. I moved in to accommodate my dad's wife because she moved over from Victoria. And I needed the extra room and, kind of living space for her in terms of, kitchen and whatever, right? So that's how I ended up in this house. And then when I moved in, obviously, I'm a nester, right? So I'm like, well, okay, well, we're here now. I didn't really like the house. And once we moved in, I realized there was no inside stairs. Excuse me. Which really makes it hard because everybody's up and down through the back and, it leaks and they're bringing in crud and I'm always washing and, it's been kind of annoying. But the first year that we moved in, I made my son go out there and grab a bunch of bricks and rocks and everything else, and we started the front yard because that was my way of kind of grounding the family into this house. And ever since then, for the last 3.5 years and a bit, I've been working extremely hard on this yard, trying to, make it so that it's functional,
right? You know, you don't. It's not functional when you have, you know, a third of your yard in the front all sand, right? And it's not functional when the backyard is full of morning glory and mud and algae, and the rest is just weeds. There's nothing functional about that. Same thing with the front, all full of weeds. And over the years, if you go back into my videos, you can see slowly but surely things are starting to change. Now, I'm starting to think, now that my dad's wife doesn't live here, because really the house is too small for me, or if it's not too small, then it's just the way it's organized, right? Like, it doesn't have a proper porch, it doesn't have proper storage, it doesn't have a proper garage, it doesn't have, you know, closet space, right? You know, it doesn't have a shed, really. It doesn't have anything. It's got, you know, really small, shallow, little teeny weeny cupboards. And so I'm thinking, you know, this time next year, if I'm still struggling with this house the way I've been struggling with it since I moved in, because the porch is still leaking and everything's getting ruined next summer, and I'm having to scrub. Well, I'm thinking to vacate the top floor and maybe, you know, turning it into a daycare, because I think the top floor would be perfect space for a daycare. You know, obviously I'd have to hire one individual that has a certificate, because I don't, you know, I just have experience, right? And, you know, I'm allowed to keep this house for as long as I want. You know, my landlady knows that I work on a nonprofit, and I may even put a grant forward and, you know, do some minor repairs just to bring it up to code, right, with the city, that type of thing, and make it a licensed daycare on the main floor, because it would be a great little setup for a daycare, especially with the amount of time that I've put into the yard. And that's another reason why I keep doing the yard, is because long term, you know, I think it would be a great yard for, you know, learning for children, right, including my grandson. So whether I do, you know, one daycare for one child and have my grandson with me until my daughter gets better, or, you know, whether I move out in a year or however long down the road and then take the main floor and just turn it into one big daycare, you know, remains to be seen. We were thinking of maybe doing a recovery house, but that's just a little bit too complicated. So in the meantime, this is what I do in a day. You know, all day long I'm on my feet every freaking day. You know, yesterday I lifted 320 pounds worth of water. Tomorrow I'm going to do another 300. I really wanted to do 4 loads today, but this Porch is taking a little longer. But that's okay, because in the next 1 to 2 days it's going to be done. And then once it's done, these bins are out, my nails are out, you know, some of my tools are out, and this is going to, you know, alleviate some of the congestion in the house, which, you know, I get criticized for. I can't put it in the garage because it gets stolen. I get people poking it around in there. I can't put it in the laundry room because there is no room. And also, too, people just walk in if they think they can walk in. You know, my son has opened the door and there's somebody, some total stranger just standing there, you know. So, like, you know, it's partly to do with the neighborhood. It's partly just the way the house is located. And, you know, again, this social worker that wants to sit up there and judge me, you know, like, let her walk in my shoes. Today is, like, this is number 2, right? Yesterday, and then I'll do tomorrow, and I'll do for the next 3-4 days. It's just kind of walk you through my day to show you what I do in a day. And, you know, this social worker and her co-workers, they need to, you know, ask themselves if they're capable of doing it and still get up in the morning and do it again and again and again and again, because you love your family and you do try and make a home for your family. You know, it's not the perfect home, but it's still a home. As for the garage in the bottom there, you know, this nonsense, I'm going to talk to my landlady, because I have sprayed down that garage. It's pretty messy right now. Again, I get people, you know, trashing, and I just give up, because in behind my tarps on the shelves, you know, I don't like them poking in there. So if it piles up and is being moved around, it keeps them out of that. But at the end of the day, that needs to be something that they should never have put that plastic up there. But after I moved in, it was too late. Never seen it until after I moved in, and it's just been kind of festering, right? But I think this year I'm going to talk to my landlady, and she's just going to have to get her son, and her son has to get some of his friends, and they need to put on some masks and pull that stuff down. Take a freaking, what you call that stuff, a power washer, and just power wash it out, and, you know, spray on some bleach, let the bleach do its magic, and then for the top part, what we can do is we can just take that rubber paint and just paint it, right, to help prevent from the leaking, and don't plastic it up, because otherwise the porch is going to be trash in a couple more years if they keep having it sweat like that. So I'm going to run that by my landlord, and maybe we'll get that fixed up, because if we're going to have a daycare here in a year or two from now, after I move out, if I move out, because it remains to be seen what I'm going to do with this house yet, right? You know, that needs to be dealt with, right? So that's all I got to say right now, and I guess we'll carry on tomorrow.